Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the mailman, trying to defrost my windows. Out here with my red Solo cup. I fill you up. Let's have a party. Anyway, another day, rise and grind here in South Jersey. It's going to get up to about 47 degrees today, which is not bad. I like it. Sunny, sun splashed, 47. I forgot to look about the wind. As long as it's not windy, that's a beautiful day. Warmer than yesterday, and it was beautiful yesterday. So this is my relaxing time into my government job, which wasn't bad yesterday. I actually left 15 minutes early. I used my own leave to leave. There was hardly any mail. I'll take it every now and again. I need a break. I'm still walking my 10, 11 miles, so let's not act like it's a party. But anyway, just a couple things to talk about this morning. This is Hump Day. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, Super Bowl week. And, again, it's like now you're hearing all the stories. Patrick Mahomes is getting grilled about his father getting, I think, his third DUI. And I understand. I mean, listen, I put it in this perspective. God forbid I was an idiot. Eyes. God forbid I was the idiot and I got a three DUIs. I wouldn't want my son to have to answer all those questions, you know what I mean? So, I feel bad for Patrick Mahomes. He seems like a good guy. So, from that perspective, I think it sucks. But listen, it's fair game. You're a public entity. That's what you do. And there are people, especially at the Super Bowl, that media, they just want to trigger you to create a story. And they're pretty liberal of what you could ask on media day at the Super Bowl. But Clark Hunt, owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, has come out and said he expects Andy Reid to be there for many years to come. So the rumor I heard about Andy Reid possibly retiring if he wins the Super Bowl, I'm still going to stick with that. I am. But Andy Reid is a lifer, so maybe not. I don't know. I think health would come a lot into it. He's a bigger guy. He really does need to take care of himself. But, hey, if he wants to coach, I'd like to have a guy like him. I don't know how close he is to the all-time win record. I really don't. But, I think that would be... I'd rather see a guy like that. Here we go. There it is. I like Andy Reid. He's a good man. So he's a lot more personable, him and his chicken nuggies, than one Bill Belichick. So I would love for him to keep coaching and get that all-time wins record. I don't know how far he is. I would imagine he's close. I mean, he's not too far behind. If I had my pick, that's what I would want. But, and the final two stories regarding the Super Bowl before I get to the headline of this video, which I did see a couple people touch on it yesterday. I'm going to put a nail in the coffin today. Kyle Shanahan comes out and says, yes, Lord, jeez, I don't. Man, I can't even focus. Kyle Shanahan says how losing a Super Bowl is crushing. And he's aware of that because he's lost his share, right? He's lost, what, 2, I think? 1 or 2? But he's lost a lot of championship games. So maybe he's got over the hump. We'll be rooting against you, Kyle. You and the Bang Bang Niner gang. We're not rooting for you. We are not. At least I'm not. Let's go Isaiah Pacheco, 20 minutes away. My guy, I'm rooting for you, kid. You run like you are mad at somebody, and I like that. But I like that. So, I'm rooting for Isaiah Pacheco. I'm rooting for Patrick Mahomes, and I'm rooting for Andy Reid. That's it. I'm not really anybody else. I'm not rooting for Travis Kelce. I'm not rooting for Tay-Tay. If anything, that's a reason to root against them. Sorry, it just is. That and the NFL or the union, the player union, is now getting involved and is coming at Roger Goodell, because Roger Goodell went out to the San Francisco practice field, even though they did practice at UNLV yesterday. Shout out to William Tilton. I did hear that, but thank you, William, for that information. I got to get back to my comments, too. I haven't had a chance. Maybe when I get to work. Roger Goodell says he saw nothing wrong with the Super Bowl practice field that the Niners had to play on. So that'll be interesting. It ain't a Super Bowl unless there's an issue with the field. Right, Eagle fans? That whole conspiracy, it was just you. Everybody was against the Eagles. Now everybody's against. Now I'm hearing a narrative with some of the Eagle fans. See, they just want to have Patrick Mahomes win. Now they're doing it against the Niners like they did it against us last year. No. NFL's not that smart. You give them way too much credit. Sorry, you give them way too much credit. Get some of this hot coffee in me. I'm at a red light. Lordy, it's not hot. It's more warm. I put a little sugar-free French vanilla creamer in there. Just top it off a little bit of half and half. So that's what brings the heat down a little bit. But yeah, so there is no conspiracy. It's just something else that the NFL, whether it's the NFL draft, there's always something. They always have issues. They run a very good operation, but it's not without flaws. And listen, what can be, right? What can be. So, all right, let's get to it. The big thing coming out of the Dan Quinn interview, without trying to, people, Dan Quinn, excuse me, it's in the morning, so I'm all clogged up. I don't mean to be nasty. I'm just sniffing. Dan Quinn, without trying to hammer the Cowboys, Jerry and son Steven, hammered the Cowboys. Check out his interview. He basically says he's glad to be with an organization that wants to win it today. Every day is about today. I'm telling you, people, he wanted Bobby Wagner and was told it's out of our price range. Why wouldn't you want Bobby Wagner? Shout out. How much you want to bet Bobby Wagner ends up in Washington, D.C. if he doesn't stay home in Seattle? How much you want to bet? I'll admit it if I'm wrong. He's a tackling machine and he's a leader. Is he past his prime? Yes. Can he help us in the playoffs? You damn sure could. Dan Quinn said over and over that he's excited. Okay, he's from Paterson, New Jersey, which is north. He went to school in Paterson, just an hour and a half away from where I'm at right now. I told you he was an East Coast guy and he would like the Washington job. He has ties in Maryland. Did not know that. It is a great spot, people. Everybody that's laughing at me saying, as of right now, I think they win a division. That's just right now. I mean, we'll see. I'll have my prediction before the preseason and after the preseason. But Dan Quinn came out and said he's glad to be with an organization that wants to win today, not just look at tomorrow. Like me, Mark Holmes, and a lot of YouTubers, we will keep it real and tell you exactly what we're thinking. And most of the time, it's the pulse of the fans. Most of the time. I'm not going to name anybody, people. I'm not going to name names here, but do the math. Not counting DallasCowboys.com people, who, of course, is not going to be critical of the team, right? That's who pays their paycheck. There are YouTubers that are very close to the situation. There's the star. You know what I'm talking about. I respect these people. I very much so do. But when they poo-poo what you and me have to say regarding them not wanting to win, don't go along with it because they are close to the star, have access to the star. That doesn't mean nothing. Open your eyes, people. Do they want to win in theory? Of course they do. Of course they want to win. But they want to win it their way. Okay? Like I told you before, there's no way Dan Quinn did not want Bobby Wagner. Would Bobby Wagner have gotten us to the Super Bowl? Probably not. But that's just the mentality that we're talking about. Do you think the Niners needed to go out and trade for Chase from Washington after getting Randy Gregory? After getting Javon Hargrave? With all the talent that's on that defense? I mean, they're loaded. No, they did it because they see... Here you go. Carpe Omnia, Dallas. Don't use slogans that you're not willing to go out and do. Are you willing to seize everything? You won't even seize Bobby Wagner. You won't even seize the defensive end that went to Buffalo. You won't even seize Odell Beckham. I'm not saying you're not going to make mistakes if you want to seize everything. You are. That's part of it, making mistakes. But in those one or two mistakes you make, you hit home runs too, and you get over the top and getting playoff wins, okay? I got news for you. You've made a lot of mistakes recently in drafting. So you can't say we're drafting and we like our own, because your own's not good enough, okay? Your own is not good enough after last year's draft. You were literally 32 out of 32 teams as far as production from your draft class. And you had plenty of picks. The most production you had was from TJ Bass, who I believe wasn't drafted. So, again, not to keep hammering the Cowboys, but when you hear Dan Quinn say he's glad, excited to be with an organization who has a win now mentality. There it is, people. That's not me. That's not Mark. That's not whoever else is criticizing this organization right now. We got to keep it up. People think that they don't hear us. That's BS. That is BS. My opinion is, I think they go out and make a splash for one player. I do. And that would be great. But I've already told you guys that they need a linebacker and a D lineman right off the bat. I would like them to get Derrick Henry, but it's not a must. You get Derrick Henry and draft a young one. I don't need to draft two young ones. We already have Deuce Vaughn. We have Hunter Lepke. So I'm seeing a lot of mock drafts where we're drafting 3 running backs and 3 offensive linemen. No, you don't need that. You don't need 3 running backs. It's a waste. Just give me one stud. Give me one in the first 3 rounds. So the moral of this story here is when the Dallas Cowboys make these slogans, Carpe Omnia, BS, I tell you. It's all BS. It's all BS. And don't let these other YouTubers tell you anything different. The proof is in the pudding. You haven't won anything substantial. You can't even say that you're a Josh Allen where you can't even say that you've won a lot of playoffs. We haven't even won a lot of playoff games like in this time period. So, Carpe Omnia my ass. Let's just seize this a couple defensive players and take that from Dan Quinn. So that's it for me. Don't forget, 2 o'clock Eastern, my lunchtime chat. I will see everybody later, hopefully. Please show up. Yesterday was a good show. It'll be better today. I'm sure we'll have some news to talk about. All right? Peace out, everybody. Late.